Jai Guruji Maharaj, continuing with book Guruji My Father, Chapter 3. Om Namah Shivaya Shivji Sada Sahai, Om Namah Shivaya Guruji Sada Sahai. Chapter is How to Pray. Prayer is the very essence of life. One day, while sitting with Guru Sahib, he very casually asked, "Which prayers do you do?" I proudly gave him a long list of prayers, which he heard with great interest and then said, "Okay, now leave all the prayers that you are doing and just sit and meditate for 5 minutes by the clock." Then the question arose, "What should I chant?" To which he said, "Whatever you want to do, but don't get up before 5 minutes are up, and sit on a mat when you meditate. After praying, thank the mat, or the mat will get half of your prayers." That was an easy task, so I sat like a hermit on a red mat, red being Guruji's favorite color. 5 minutes of meditation was child's play, so I thanked Guruji for making my prayers so easy. This continued for a week, and after a week Guruji instructed me to increase the duration of meditation from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, and then the following week after that to increase it to 15 minutes. It was becoming harder and harder to concentrate for longer periods of time. Much to our disappointment, in July of 1995, Guruji suddenly left for Jalandhar. He told his Sangat in Delhi that unless he calls, no one is to visit him. The next 3 to 4 months were spent in restless, unsatisfying prayers as I urged him for more guidance. Finally, after a few months, Guruji sent a message that we should visit him in Jalandhar. So, with lots of excitement, we went for his darshan. Over there, Guruji introduced us to Rimple Garewal's mother, Paramjit Chahal, who we mentally connected with immediately. She taught us many things about Guruji and his ways, primarily how to worship and adore our Guru Sahib. Chahal Auntie Ji was a beautiful lady who had darshan of Guruji's divine light when Guruji was just 19 years into his life. He showed her in his light when she doubted whether following a Hindu guru would be right for a staunch Sikh like her. Once at a Jalandhar temple, we were sitting on the floor with Guruji and pressing his feet while Auntie was pressing Guruji's hands and speaking to him. We were being referred to in a third person as Guru Sahib said in Punjabi, "Auntie, isnu path sikha, jis tarah main tenu sikhaya hai." Auntie, teach her how to pray in the same way as I have taught you. Then Auntie turned to us as if Guruji was no longer there and said that prayer is not about mantra but about connecting to the Lord. Mantra comes once you conquer your disability to get your mind and body to form a dot. And all this while Guruji was listening to her and nodding, his head ever so often in agreement. Auntie further added that do this mentally, not physically. Lay a cushion, the most beautiful cushion for our beloved Guruji, pat it with your hands, mentally take off every crease and straighten it. Decorate flowers one by one all around the cushions, then light a lamp and agarbatti as Guruji liked lots and lots of agarbatti and dhoop, mentally, not physically. Physically, sit straight with hands one on the top of other and invite the Lord to come and sit on that cushion. Picture him walking in. Imagine the rustling sound of his chola and then imagine that he is sitting on the cushion. Then talk about everything in your heart to him. And when you are satisfied, then thank him for everything and take his permission to leave from meditation. 20 minutes will fly by quickly and all prayers will be complete. Praying will become so easy as every bit of you will be alive and together because you are doing everything for your beloved Guruji, which has to be perfect. In your mind, every other thought will wait. While praying, one must keep a glass of water next to the mat, preferably one that is made up of silver, as it is very good conductor of energy. This water then becomes Amrit, which must be had after the prayer for mind, body, and soul, especially for people who get tired very fast. Jai Guruji Maharaj, Guruji my father. Chapter 4. Why do we need a guru? रब रूठे ता गुरु मान्या, गुरु रूठे ता जिंदगी खत्म हो जाए. To be allowed to be in Guruji Maharaj grace is the biggest gift that one can share with their friends. We had taken many of our friends to Guru Sahib, but he would drive them away by saying, "Give me carpets, my place needs carpets," or "Give me land, I need to build a mandir." They would never return. We took another friend of ours, his son and daughter, with us to Guruji. As his wife was out of town, she couldn't come along. They were immediately enamored by Guruji, or I should say that Guruji allowed them to reach him and receive his blessings. After a few days, his wife came back and we took the whole family to meet Guruji. It was Mahashivratri on that particular day and the mandir was filled with devotees. It was impossible to move, and after some time we realized that our friends had left. So the following day we asked them if they would like to go again, to which the wife replied, "No, my life is perfect. I have no problems. Only people who have problems in their life go to Guru." That was the end of our conversation. That evening, Guruji inquired about our friends. We cautiously said that they will not be coming without giving him any details of our conversation. Guruji, being all-knowing, said, "She doesn't understand why we need a guru in our life." Then very patiently he explained that when we say Om, it has Om, Bindu and Nada. Om and Bindu are sounds that all of us can say, but Nada is a sound which is internal and can only be produced by a very elevated person. He said, when one repeats a designated number of mantras, then a Shakti gets invoked. That Shakti then blesses our prayers and desires. Therefore, our mantra has to be very pure, perfectly pronounced and precise. Otherwise, it will not invoke the energy. As all our mantras are not pure, hence our prayers are not perfect and therefore unacceptable. For his bhagats, Guru Sahib then accepts our faulty prayers, correct them and offer them to the required Shakti to make our prayers acceptable to her. He said, the mantras to invoke a Shakti is like a math equation. It has to be perfect. There are no compromises. That is why Guruji always said that all part prayers must be done by yourself and not by a pandit or a priest, because you are his disciple and he is responsible for you. He is not responsible for the pandit or priest who is doing the prayers for you. No havan or jap is too hard. Guruji had once sent me to Dhara Puja on the little black Shiva Linga at the mandir that is now placed near the entrance next to Ganesh Ji. The linga was earlier placed on the path opposite Guruji's swing. It was the middle of the summer. I was made to sit on a hard path on a mat with no head covers except a cotton dupatta, with no one who could explain any rules or guidelines of the puja. All prayers were to Guruji. With the help of Ram Avatar and Chote Lal, Chota Mali, it took 2 days to complete the puja. Their wives were given instructions to make light meals for me, and no sangat except for my friend Roma Sapra was allowed to come near that area. Indeed, it was tiring, but more importantly, it was achievable. I could never understand why only I was allowed to do this puja, but it was not about me. It was just so that today I, a non-pandit and mediocre in Hindi, a housewife, could write and say that no prayer is hard. Just do it yourself with Guru Sahib's blessings. Guruji planned everything so far ahead. Today my mind feels like a bank of all his words, which had once been deposited and now to be used and restated. Shukrana Guruji.